Hello, you guys. Welcome and welcome back. I hope you guys are doing well. I have a little conversation that I want to have with you guys because it's a very strong feeling that I have, and I want to share it so that you are aware because I feel like the more awareness and knowledge that we have, the better equipped we can be to do the things that we need to do the things that we've been called to do in this world. Okay? Palo Santo. Lord, don't get me started on the Palo Santo, child. Okay? Hold on. I felt a burp. But we're lighting this in honor of peace, serenity, clarity, retribution, and justice. And let me tell you why I want to have this conversation with you, because there's a lot going on in the world. And there are a specific group of people who are fighting back. Now, this is very specific, and I'm not necessarily saying that this isn't happening in other oppressed groups. Ooh, it's popping. It's popping. It's popping. But specifically in the Black community. Okay, I did make a video recently about being kind of like irritated with Black people, because I am. I'm irritated with Black people. I'm irritated with the way that Black people conduct themselves. I'm irritated with how we do not protect each other within our communities. I'm irritated by the degeneracy and the delinquency that we all tend to gravitate towards. And, you know, it was interesting. I saw a video of this lady like begging a bunch of Black men to wake up and realize that a certain group of people have been, you know, basically doing spell work or persecuting them as a collective, as a group, in order to control them and get them to destroy the world. And very interestingly enough, because I am connected in a way, I've been getting a message for a long time. You guys remember back when, you know, the vid hit and everybody was, you know, in the house. Pretty much a lot of people had children, had babies, and they called them, you know, the vid babies, right? I just want you guys to know that the babies are fighting back. The babies and the elderly are fighting back. What do I mean by this, right? You're going to have to follow me, because if you have a short attention span, this is not going to be the channel for you. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to catch the vibe. But I'm just letting you know, you're going to have to follow me. All right? We got to expand our attention span so that we can put the pieces together and not get distracted, because that's what they want. But the babies are fighting back. When I say this, all of the babies, all of the children, and this is all alleged. I have no proof of this. This is just my opinion, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. All of the babies are fighting back. All of the babies who were switched at birth, possibly abused or taken advantage of. All of the babies who were used in experiments that could have allegedly happened or not happened. All of the babies, and I'm talking about in the Black community, all of the babies who have been brought up in a system of injustice and were casualties of said injustice. All of the babies who have passed on and gone on to glory to God. The sirens. All of the babies who did not have anyone to fight for them. All of the babies who were possibly kidnapped or abducted. All of the babies who were involved in business operations that victimized them. They are fighting back from the other side. Okay, I'm just going to let you know they're fighting back from the other side. A lot of the things that you see when it comes to the way the Black community is being changed and shifted is because these babies are fighting back. And they're fighting back with another group of people, which is the elderly or the adults who were also victims of these casualties or caused these casualties. So if you look at the Black community, you will see how we have literally fallen from a lot of the previous places of glory or abundance that we've had in the past. You see the decline of the Black community, especially in the United States. You see the decline of our neighborhoods. You see the decline of our housing. You see the decline of our schools and education systems. You see the decline of community activism and safety within our communities. And it's not that I agree with what this lady was saying in the video, because I don't know. But one thing I do know is that I know nothing. And that makes me very wise. So it's not that I believe it or don't believe it. I keep a possibility open in my mind that any and everything can either be true or untrue. But the babies are fighting back. The reason why I brought up the vid babies is because some of these souls of these children decided that they wanted to reincarnate themselves into new bodies, new families, so that they could do what they wanted to do on this earth to change the way that things are going. They wanted to come into this plane with, I guess, a quote unquote advantage. They were born with teeth. Some of them were born talking. Some of them were born with these amazing abilities that are a sign of the evolution of our race. And I'm talking to Black people. They were born with these advantages so that when they become who they are meant to be, which they will, and they are protected, that they will be able to have the memories and the evidence within their DNA that helps them to stay focused on their goal. The oppression that the Black community has faced is kind of like a cardinal sin or a universal injustice. When I say universal, not just for all, but when it comes to God, and I'm not necessarily talking about God the way a lot of people see God. I'm talking about the source of all creation. Because truthfully, it's all the same. In every religion, in every belief, most of the time, if they are people who believe in a supreme being from a positive intention, it's all the same God, unless people are worshiping the devil. But what people in the Black community need to understand is that if you or the people around you do not want to be a part of the overall growth and evolution that these babies are bringing to our existence, either from the other side or from these bodies that they've chosen to grow into, then you will be eliminated as well. And I'm not talking about lose your life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not being able to take advantage of the blessings that are coming to the people who want to uplift their communities and want to create positivity amongst their fellow oppressed people. You will not be included in the reaping of harvest, the reaping of benefits, the reaping of change that comes with this courageous act. Now, when I talk about the people who are helping these babies, a lot of people in like the civil rights activism stage, a lot of people who have passed on after living their life during that time period, whether it was during the alleged times of slavery, because we don't know how that went down. We just know what we've been told. During the times of colonization of American natives, who I believe included Black people, anyone who was a part of those eras that were witness to the decline of the Black community or took part somehow, either directly or indirectly, in the decline of the Black community are fighting with these babies after going to the other side and seeing what they were a part of. Even if they felt as if what they were a part of was the right choice or the right thing to do, it doesn't necessarily mean that these people I'm speaking of are condemned. It doesn't necessarily mean that the people that I'm speaking of are negative. It doesn't necessarily mean that the people that I'm speaking of are not able to be forgiven or turned over when it comes to their new leaf. But what I'm saying is that you gain clarity when you have all of the information. And a lot of these activists from the civil rights era or prior, or anyone who was able to make a change during the severe decline of the Black community and has now passed on to a new plane of existence and have clarity to see the truth of either their actions or the actions of people around them, are teaming up with these victimized young souls that were never given a chance to thrive. And that is why many of the people starting in the Black community that we see in the public, you know who I'm talking about, are beginning to be removed from the equation. It's not necessarily just God. It is all of the chosen people and all of the people who have seen the errors of their ways, rectifying whatever they can to fix the problem. I'm letting you know right now, it's babies fighting back. So when you start to see all of these stories come out, because what you're going to see is stories come out, right? You're going to see stories of children who are melanated, where they were victimized. As all of these full disclosure moments happen, and as people begin to be exposed, people in positions of power who begin to be exposed, are exposed, you are going to see stories of forgotten children come back up to the surface. These are the souls of the babies that I speak of. They are fighting for justice from the other side. So if you are a person who you feel is, you feel you are chosen yourself, and you are in the Black community and you have been in a position of being disgusted and fed up and tired of the way that either your particular demographic is displayed or other demographics within your community are displayed, this message is motivation for you to know that you should continue fighting. You have a long line of people behind you that you can feel the exhaustion of, you can feel the burdens of. You have a long line of people behind you that have been fighting for a long time. And I know that that pressure is getting heavy on you guys to the point where a lot of you may want to give up. I know that there's a lot of you who have been targeted. There's a lot of you who have been persecuted. There are a lot of you who've been, blacklisted, shadow banned, put in a place that's negative. And you're not completely sure why, but it's becoming clear that it's because you are one of the ones who are ready and willing to fight this fight. It's becoming clear that you are being targeted because of the fact that if you had the resources and you had the capability and you had the connections to others with your mindset, that you would be a threat to the controlling body of forces who are trying to continue to keep our group of people oppressed. This message is for you. Okay? I want you to know that if you've ever lost a child, or if you've ever been in a situation where someone close to you has moved on, they are fighting with you as well. Especially if you know those people were pure of heart. What I also want you guys to know is that you must be very aware and careful of which of your ancestors you allow into your field of awareness. Because sometimes you have ancestors who are still choosing to stay in the same outdated mentality that they were in when they were alive. You know how it feels to be around them because you remember how it was when they were here. And they will try to sabotage their own people. So when you start to begin to feel discouraged and you begin to feel as if you can't move forward, and different thoughts pop up in your mind about what you can do to make it easier and things that you can pursue that aren't as complicated, those are those ancestors of yours coming through because they are receiving some type of reward on the other side to perpetuate this negative stereotype or the negative experiences that we have all been facing as a group. Because quite frankly, I'm tired of the Black community, and I've made this very clear. I'm not just tired of men in the Black community. I'm tired of the women in the Black community. I'm tired of women being promiscuous and literally accepting anything and everything because it's easier to do that than it is to know your worth. I'm tired of men in the Black community not supporting their communities in a way that allows for us to thrive. I'm tired of the back and forth with negativity amongst each other. And I've said this before on this channel, but this is specifically because these babies want someone to say and speak for them where they are not able to physically speak. They want for someone to say to the people who are supporting them in their efforts to stay encouraged, and they want someone to say to the people who do not support them in their efforts to watch out. Because as their stories begin to be made public, the people who were involved in the negativity surrounding any hardship or violence that befell them, it will trickle down. And if you are a person in the Black community who either does not support or chooses to victimize your own people, I am very, very, very sorry for what will befall you in the near future. if you are a part of perpetuating negative stereotypes, if you are a part of peddling poison, if you are a part of any type of degenerate behavior, it's not that you cannot come back from this. It's not that you are doomed or condemned. It's just a choice now that you're going to have to make about whether or not you're going to choose to be on their side or whether or not you're going to choose to be on our side. And that's what the babies are saying. The babies are tired of being nameless and faceless. The babies are tired of being invisible. They are about to walk this earth and appear, either through a birth of a child that is very accelerated, or through the spiritual realm, because the veil is thin. These controlling forces think that they can open these portals and let in the things that will keep them in power. But it's very ironic, and it's just super ironic and super crazy, because they're also going to let through a lot more than what they bargained for. And there's no way to stop it, because even if the portals haven't been opened and created and punched through with force, these children say basically that they would have figured out a way. I'm seeing literally a graveyard. Okay, compose yourself. Because if you cannot handle what I'm saying, you're not going to be able to handle what's about to come next in this world. Don't be scared, be prepared. Compose yourself, govern yourself accordingly. But I'm seeing a graveyard with a bunch of little hands coming up and digging themselves out of the ground. They are here. And they are working through those of us, people like me, people like you, who see this message and know that through the words that I'm saying, what I'm saying is the truth. And they are being pulled up out of the ground by some of the spirits of these elder spirits and people who were in this world and involved in some way with either fighting the good fight their whole life or perpetuating negativity and realizing it was wrong. The records are being dug up, y'all. The babies are fighting black. The babies are fighting back. The black babies. They are fighting back. They're telling me basically that all the missing posters in Walmart and in grocery stores that you've seen, the mail leaflets that you get with "Have you seen me?" You've seen them, and you're about to see them again. Whether they come through the form of a child speaking prophetically at a very young age, doing things that you would think they were too young to do. And I'm not meaning in a negative way. I'm meaning in a very supernatural, unbelievable way. Whether they come through that way or whether they come through as spirits, tapping into people like you and me, they are making their presence known. And they are putting names on their nameless graves. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. I hope that, you can take it the way you need to take it. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you are a person in the Black community and you've been feeling these vibes, please share it. Please let me know any insight that you have about the topic and what you think this means, because it's good to have a conversation. I'm not saying that I'm always right, but I'm also not afraid to let you guys know what I'm being told. There's definitely a lot more messages to come, and there's a lot of things that I'm being opened up to and advised to share. So I'm going to be sure to let you guys know what's going on. Be sure to thank and show gratitude to all of your ancestors that you feel are giving you strength, all of your passed on loved ones that you feel are fortifying you in this process, especially if you are a chosen one. They have your back. You guys are not alone. Be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.